Configuration files in .NET are XML files that control everything about the environment your code will execute inside of. For web applications, this includes the authentication settings, as we saw in the security module of this course, and config files also control the compilation of views, database connection strings, cryptography settings, custom error settings, and much, much more. The configuration system in .NET is also extensible, so if you want to have your own custom configuration section, you can write some classes to support that. I'm not going to show you that specific scenario in this module, but I will demonstrate an easy way for you to store custom settings in a configuration file. Inside of Visual Studio, I'm going to open up our web.config file, and we have seen this file repeatedly throughout this course. This is where we configured the connection string to the database that we want to use. This is where we configured health monitoring. We added globalization when we talked about ASP.NET infrastructure. That's the module where we also added some caching. We have changed the authentication mode inside of the security module. And way down here, we even had some rules that the web server applies to rewrite and redirect users to a secure URL when they're trying to log in. So there are various components of ASP.NET and also of the web server itself that look in the configuration file for settings. And so the obvious question might be, what if I want to keep my own settings inside of the web.config file? One of the easiest things to do if you just have a simple value to store is add it to the app settings section. Inside of app settings, you give your value a key that you will use to look up this value. So let's say that we need to store the name of an SMTP server. So I'll give it the key SMTP server, and the value would be some server name. Now what I want to do is be able to retrieve that value inside of my MVC application. So let's open up the home controller. And what I'll do is just retrieve that value and put it in the view bag for now so we can put it into a view and you can see how easy this is. So viewbag.smtp server equals configuration manager. And I'm going to bring in the namespace for that, system.configuration. This has a quick way to get to both the app settings and the connection strings that are inside of my web.config. So I'm going to ask for the SMTP server value. And now that value should be placed into this property on the view bag. So let's switch over into the view. And somewhere here at the top of the form, I'm just going to output viewbag.smtp server. We'll save everything and run the application to see this work. And there you can see that we retrieved that value from the web.config file. So it's the configuration manager that gives you easy and quick access to anything that's inside of app settings, also inside of the connection strings.